First of all, thank you all for being here today. And I know that it was last minute. We decided early this morning, and then we started calling folks that we knew would be here. And so again, thank you all for being here today. Okay, you all are the real MVPs, as I always say. Today, California celebrates Day of the Teacher and National School Nurse Day. My husband, Steve Lee, is a juvenile hall counselor, and I myself, a public school teacher. When families send their most precious beings, their children to school, I said I wasn't gonna cry. I teach them how to be safe, be respectful, and be responsible to others, and most importantly, to themselves. It is why we have never engaged in negative campaigning. We want to be worthy of the folks that support us. We know our children are watching. We know our friends and families are watching, our coworkers, our colleagues. So when you try to take down or destroy someone so absolutely, how do you go back to work, to face the people that love you, and to proclaim yourself as a leader when we know what you did, especially when you perpetuate and amplify disinformation? So disinformation versus misinformation. Disinformation is when you know that it is false and you keep perpetuating as the truth. And that is what the California Association of Realtors and its affiliate, Sacramento Association of Realtors, are doing. So again, as an educator, a public school teacher, and as parents, we want to show our children the future to be safe, to be respectful, and to be responsible. Very much like the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, Code of Ethics. Quote, "The term realtor has come to connote competency, fairness, and high integrity, resulting from adherence to a lofty ideal of moral conduct in business relations. No inducement of profit and no instruction from clients ever can justify departure from this ideal," end quote. And yet, here we are, again, to address the maliciously false and defamatory acts by California Association of Realtors, or CAR, and its affiliates, to address their conduct that goes against their own code of ethics. Conduct that is appallingly void of honor and integrity. CAR's candidate of choice this election cycle's campaign slogan is "Protecting Our Families." Is that some kind of coded slogan? Does that protection include our family? Clearly, it does not. CAR's blatant disregard for the well-being and safety of our family, our children, knows no bounds. They have shown and continue to show that they will be as disrespectful and irresponsible as their unlimited funds provide in favor of their endorsed candidate. The intentional harm and trauma CAR and its affiliates continue to inflict on our family with their malicious lies and defamatory acts must stop now. We refuse to be your victim any further.
Thank you, David, and good evening, each and every one of you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here. I'm Steve Lee, and I'm running for County Supervisor. And I'm just very appreciative to be in a country where somebody who came to this country as a refugee boy could have an opportunity to run for public office. As an educator in juvenile hall that's worked with students in juvenile hall as well as foster youth for about a quarter of a century, I work with students that oftentimes have been victims of unimaginable things. And that, for me, I wouldn't fathom the possibility of me even doing harm to anyone else. I'm disheartened with the fact that our elections continually are bought by special interest. They can't attack me on my record, so they make things up. The grand jury choosing to not entertain these overreaching and false referrals by the Elk Grove City Council is no surprise. As I've always stated from the very beginning, and as reported by Chief Albright to the City Council in July of 2020, and affirmed by Detective Benitez, one of Elk Grove's detectives, that there is no substance to these lies made against me. Chief Albright, and these are his words, following a comprehensive review by my staff, our detectives, and at this point, the investigation is considered closed. Vice Mayor Stephanie Huynh said these things are all political. I know Steve Lee, and this is not a Steve Lee doing. I dream of a time where my opponents in a race would focus on the issues that impact the district, and in this case, Sacramento County. Issues that is core to ones in my campaign, which is mental health and homelessness, proper public safety funding, jobs and economic development, and education and career pathways. For detail as to my position statements on these issues, visit supervisorstevelee.com. As tempting as it may be to talk about my opponents and their records, I will leave it at this. Why is it that the crime rates in Elk Grove have increased in the last 2 years? Why have we continued to see homicides in Elk Grove increasing up by 500%? Why is it that the Park District, under scrutiny for allowing parks to be in disrepair, and the Sacramento grand jury has sustained the findings as referred by residents? These are the opponents that are attacking me in push polls and in mailers. My challenge to my opponent is simple. Stop making things up, and let's talk about the real issues that impact Sacramento County. Stop hiding behind these special interest PACs to cover up your lack of a real plan for Sacramento County. That is my challenge to you. Bottom line is, look, I am the only candidate that is funded by small businesses, by residents, and this is a totally grassroots campaign. I am the only candidate that is a true nonpartisan, because partisan politics don't belong in local office. I don't belong to a political party. My interest is the people of Sacramento County. My interest is to serve all of you. That's why I'm running. In the 4th grade, I remember being bullied by a kid that was much bigger and much stronger. It stopped the day that I put my foot down and I fought back physically. I have directed my attorneys that I've retained to explore litigation regarding these false, malicious, and defamatory statements. Consider this a notice to all regarding all these blatant lies that they must stop. Today I say to you that I refuse to be your scapegoat or your victim any further. Thank you all for coming. Again, my name is Steve Lee, and I'm running for County Supervisor.